Hello, I'm David Hunt. My guest today is somebody that I've known for over 30 years. Boy, that's showing my age.
And mine.
And yours. He's a Frenchman living here in Melbourne, Serge Thomann. He's a photographer, that's how I met him, and for the music industry and entertainment. A former Deputy Mayor of the City of Port Phillip, a former brand manager of L'Oreal, and a dear friend of the late Mercamora. Serge, welcome.
Thank you. It looks like I've retired, but I haven't.
No, you haven't. But we'll get to that a little bit later. How did you end up in Melbourne when you were a Frenchman?
Well, I came to work for a French company. That's the easiest bit. So I came to work for L'Oreal.
Right.
I was employed by them to come and learn my craft in international marketing. And so they sent me to Melbourne, where L'Oreal was based in Australia.
And so you came here, liked it, and ended up living here?
I came actually here the day Bob Hawke became the leader of the opposition and the parliament was dissolved.
Right.
So that's when I actually arrived in Australia, that very day, 4th of February, 1983, and just before Ash Wednesday. And then I was always doing photography as a hobby, and then I became a photographer thanks to Michael Hutchins, who discovered me and told me I was losing my time working for a big corporate firm. So I said, oh, why not try my luck?
So you're a freelance photographer.
Yes.
And you worked a lot within the music industry and
Yes.
entertainment industry.
But start with music, and
Yep.
then with neighbours,
Yep.
Carly, Jason, where you got that blur between
Yep.
music, television, cinema. So that's how I went more into the other parts, the other arts.
And you're one of those people that you're very determined. You work really hard at getting that right shot and being at all the opening nights and being there on set of different shows. What drove you? What was your passion in those early days?
Well, you always want to get the shot, and sometimes it's very frustrating when you actually don't get the shot, the great shot. And I can tell you a very very funny story. I was with Kylie Minogue in Japan, and Michael Hutchins was backstage, and I want to take a picture of the two together, and it was not. They just started dating,
right?
And no one knew that they were dating, and I didn't know. And when I actually asked to take the picture, I was told it's not something I can do, and I was very frustrated, and I didn't understand why I could not take that picture. And then a week later, it became official that they were both dating, and I understood why I couldn't take. But that, have Kylie Minogue and Michael Hutchins in the same picture backstage in Osaka, that would have been the shot. But so you need to be at the right place at the right time to get the right shot. But I'm not a paparazzi, so I've never done that, apart from once for a Japanese magazine in Cairns. But I've always respected the people I work with.
So who were you selling the photos to? Was it newspapers or was it for the
mainly magazines? Because magazines used to buy directly from photographers back then, and then eventually just work with agencies. So always with the best entertainment agencies around the world. When Wire Image opened here, they asked, I was their first photographer on the book, but nowadays you really have got one agency, Getty, and I don't think the photographers are treated the way they should be, and definitely paid the way they should be paid.
And you don't take photos at all anymore on the red carpet?
No, I don't. I do occasionally, but I don't have the. I don't have any. When I was a councillor, I didn't have the time to go to everything. So to actually be a good photographer, you have to go to lots of things. And when I was a councillor and deputy mayor of Port Phillip, I stopped doing that because I was concentrating on my public role.
Now, you're at the opening of everything. I see you on the red carpet of almost every major event that's happening in Melbourne. You still love it all, don't you?
Oh, I still get invited to things, and I'd take a few photos.
But more just there as.
But yes. So no, I think the entertainment industry is a great industry. I love performance. I've always loved, I've taken photos of a lot of shows, from Mamma Mia to We'll Rock You. That's like all the production books. I did Madiba last year. That was my last big job.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So so some people still remember me from the time.
Yeah.
And I suppose once you're a good photographer, you're always a good photographer.
Well, that's true.
You s-
Now,
and
now
s-
let's move on. You were the former deputy mayor of the city of Port Phillip. How did that all come about? What was the reasoning you got into, politics?
So, despite the fact that my father was a mayor in my town in France,
Okay.
I never had any inclinations. In fact, it was more the reverse because I never saw my dad because he was always busy, even in a small place. But in 2007, the city of Port Phillip was working on what's called a St. Kilda Triangle.
Triangle, yeah.
And I was in St. Kilda and I thought it was the wrong decision to make for the place where I've chosen to come and live. And I started the fight against it and eventually stopped it. But as I couldn't stop it from the outside, we ran a campaign and won the council elections in 2008 and got rid of 5 of the 6 bad councillors. Once we were there, a year later, we managed to buy out the developer and the St. Clair Triangle didn't happen, which was a massive shopping mall that we felt was not right for the area.
What was it like being a councillor?
But in a way, there are 2 types of councillors. You've got the councillors who just come in and come to meetings and stuff, and then you've got the councillor who is like me. I go everywhere. I was like that as a photographer, but of course, when you get invited to openings and to exhibitions and different things, you have to respect the people and your constituents who have invited you. And so I was out all the time because I wanted to show my support to the arts community. And
also with issues, you were I can remember because we live fairly close to each other down in St Kilda, and you every time I saw you when you were a councillor, you always were asking my opinion on stuff and or telling me what's going on in the area and all that. You were very passionate about that as well, weren't you?
But I think one of the quality of a council is to listen. And I'm not a member of a party, so my party is my community. So I don't have to obey to anybody. I only have to listen to myself. And for me to make my own judgment, I have to listen to others. And the more people you listen to, the better your judgment. And that's what I have been trying to do while I was there.
And because you were independent, it became harder in the last elections because you were standing as an independent and there were other, bigger parties that swooped in. Are you missing it?